Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Wrestling Rants. My name is Adam and I am the Palmer Lord of the entire frigging universe. So, Smackdown happened. The Smackdown after Mania. I think it's the first Smackdown after Mania we've had since it changed to Smackdown Live, and there was high points and low points. I think we'll kick off. There was a Randy Orton promo where he's on about joining them and then beating them and then whipping their ass at WrestleMania, which he did, much to a lot of people's chagrin. I don't think he should be champion because he's done everything. 13-time world champion. He's just a bit dull now. He's had some better gimmicks, but Bray came up on screen and started talking what it felt like he was talking like trying to talk like a movie star, and I didn't. It didn't make sense of it, but he starts rambling like he does, and then he surprises him. He just comes up behind, does all the magic-y shit, and then comes up behind him and sneak attacks him, and then magically Randy Orton gets the upper hand, which is stupid because he got sneak attacked. If you've ever been sneak attacked, you ain't gonna get the upper hand like that. I can't clip your fingers, but it's ridiculous and it's stupid, and I don't like Randy Orton. Then Eric Rowan comes out. A surprise attack from Eric Rowan, pulling Randy Orton through the ropes. Eric Rowan's got a new mask. It's similar to his old mask, but it's got like almost a gas mask sort of feel to it, steampunky gas mask sort of thing, and it looks really cool, and I really do like it. And then Luke Harper comes out to try and make the save for Randy Orton, so a tag match is set up. Randy and Luke versus the Wyatt family, because Teddy Long is now in charge of Raw and SmackDown Creative by the looks of things, which wouldn't surprise me. Next up is the women's match. The women's match felt like it went longer than the women's match I had at WrestleMania, which is silly because, don't get me wrong, like these girls are talented now, and we are getting some really good matches, but it just feels like they're sort of pushing them back again to where we're going to have 2-minute matches and it's going to be arm drag, like it was before this whole women's revolution and evolution, which is a shame. Naomi retained again in her hometown, which I think obviously not retaining in her hometown would be a bit shit. Like obviously they do it sometimes, like Sasha Banks lost in Boston and stuff like that, which is a bit unfair. But I think Naomi retaining here was the best choice, especially because they told a really good story and Alexa Bliss went straight for the injured knee, a bit like Triple H did on Sunday night at WrestleMania. So I think that worked really well. But at the end of the day, they could have let them go a little bit longer. It was 10 minutes or something like that, just to, even if Alexa Bliss didn't get off a Twisted Bliss or whatever it's called, a Sparkle Splash. Next, Kurt Hawkins was in the ring, cutting a promo, basically acting like a child, saying, "Hey, look at me! Hey, we should all be focusing on me." And then he gives someone the count of 10 to come wrestle him, and as soon as he says 10, Ty Dillinger pops up. And I haven't seen much of Ty Dillinger. I try and watch NXT when I can, but I do like Ty Dillinger. I like his moveset. He won the match with his finisher, the tiebreaker, which is it's a fireman's carry neckbreaker. Which is I really like that move. Like Ushigoroshi. I like the way AJ Styles does it as well. It's a really good looking move. But I think having Ty on and bringing Ty up so quickly, especially after all the stuff with Sanity, I think they could have had one more match between Eric Young and Ty Dillinger before they brought him up. Then we had a parody promo, similar in the same vein as the total BS thing that they had a couple of weeks ago with Maurice and the Miz parodying John Cena and Nikki Bella, and I think people like it. because it makes them laugh. And as I said previously, Miz is on the run of his career. It's fantastic. Maurice is making him look like $1 million with all the heel manager work and stuff like that. I think works really well, to the point where if Miz continues like the way he's going, he's gonna win. He's got to win the world championship at some point. I can't see him beating Orton for it, but he could beat someone. I kind of want to see Ambrose go over Orton, which makes me feel dirty. Corbin to go over Ambrose, and then the Miz to go over Corbin. I think would work, because Corbin's having a really good run. Ambrose would be a good transitional champion, just to give him that thing before whatever else happens, whether he tries to do a Cena and propose to Renee Young or whatever happens. I don't know. I don't like the current run Dean Ambrose is on, but we'll talk about that later. But they're doing all the promo, and then randomly the violinist from Takeover Brooklyn 2 appears, just basically saying surprise violins. Starts playing a similar thing to what he played at Brooklyn. And then Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits, and the crowd goes fucking wild. And I'm not surprised, because Shinsuke Nakamura is fantastic. He was fantastic in New Japan when he was the IC champion there. He's just had he's been great in NXT. He's just pop after pop after pop after great match after great match after great match. And I think bringing him up, it was the right time. Obviously, he's lost his he lost on Saturday night against Bobby Roode, and I think bringing him up now is the best choice. Obviously, the superstar shake-up next week is basically a semi draft. I think that he might get transferred to Raw. I don't want that to happen at all, but I've got a feeling it could, which would upset me, because I like the way everything is now. Maybe bring the Hardys over to SmackDown, because their tag division is just poor and it needs a reinvigoration. Like, they've just lost half of one of their tag teams. Simon Gotch has just left, so they've only got Aiden English from the Vaudevillains. So he'll probably have to change gimmicks if they don't just release him. I mean, we haven't seen them for a while anyway. They were in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, but other than that, we haven't really seen them. They've just faded away into obscurity. They've become, just take a phrase from the Broken Hardys, obsolete, which makes me sad. But I never thought their gimmick would get over in on the main roster anyway. So, but I think with the superstar shake-up, it's gonna be quite interesting to see who goes where, why, how, and stuff like that. Ambrose versus Corbin is next. And this was a street fight, and it was a really good match, and I enjoyed it greatly, very much so. It was brutal. It was pretty brutal. It was chair shots. It was leather strap shots, which I thought was, because they don't usually let them do that in street fights. Just obviously, it's a couple of table spots. Ambrose got power slammed into a table by Corbin, which looked really cool. It looked really good. It made Corbin look really strong. And then there was that whole Ambrose elbow drop thing, and I hate the Ambrose elbow drop. It's just a bit, it's ugly. It's not a pretty move. It's a bit, it's just not a pretty move at all. And I think that they need to get rid of it a bit. But Corbin went over, which is good. It should have been for the IC belt, I'm not going to lie. Because Corbin needs to get hold of that belt as soon as possible, because Ambrose is just bringing it down again, and it's starting to really piss me off. Next, Shane Mac comes out, says, oh yeah, with his superstar shake-up, yeah, we'll see what happens here, yeah. AJ Styles comes out, everybody pops, because everybody loves AJ Styles. And he starts talking to Shane, and he's like, yeah, I owe you something. Shakes his hand, which looks really good, and he's on about how he doesn't want to leave SmackDown, because, let's face it, he's the biggest, he's almost, I'd say he's more of a tweener than a full-on heel or a full-on face, because they're trying to make him do heel shit, like putting Shane O'Mac through a car window and stuff like that, but he just gets so many face pops, just because people love him, because Smarks, no, obviously he did a load of stuff in TNA and New Japan and stuff like that. And Ring of Honor, he's just had good match after good match after good match after good match. And then people in like Marks, just WWE and stuff, just in WWE, just see him having great match. He made Roman look great, which is he's all right in the ring as Roman, but he's not the best. I think definitely people love AJ, so obviously him shaking Shane's hand and stuff. I think that's a low key face turn, which is good because he needs to be. If Cena's pissing off for a while, he needs to be the top face in the company, or at least on SmackDown, because Ambrose is never going to be top face, which is good because as I said, Ambrose is just kind of a wannabe comedy character that doesn't really work, which is it's a shame, a massive shame. But the final match of the night was the aforementioned tag match, and it was average tag match. Just Wyatt's kettle hold of Luke Harper for a while, beat on him, and then it was a hot tag to Randy Orton because wrestling, and then it just pissed me off because I don't like tag matches like where you get hot tag. I don't like that as much as it. I just think it's a bit overused now, and that we get rid of it. Like, because there are some things like, I mean, look at Enzo and Cass. Enzo's finishing move is Big Cass, and it's stupid and it's overused. We need to get rid of the trope of hot tags, I think, because it will make things better when they get rid of that trope. But as I said, average tag match, hot tag. There was a weird thing. Randy Orton did his through the ropes DDT thing that he does, which it looks alright. I'm not gonna lie. And then Bray Wyatt did some spooky shit, and teleported about 15 feet up the ramp, and just left Eric Rowan to get RKO'd and pinned. And it was stupid. It just genuinely stupid. I think this Bray Wyatt Randy Orton thing needs to be stopped. Bray Wyatt needs to win the belt back, and he's having a House of Horrors match. I'm assuming that's going to be a Backlash, which is going to be in, I think it's May. But this House of Horrors match is going to be weird because it's either going to be like the final deletion again, or it's going to be a bit like the Ambrose Asylum we had at Extreme Rules, and I hope it's not like that, because that was just a bit toss, and it being Randy Orton, it's just going to be toss. So I don't want that match to be. It might just be a Hell in a Cell match with weapons hanging from ceiling and that's going to be stupid as well. It's just all going to be a bit. I can see it just being stupid. It's going to be stupid, and I'm not looking forward to it. But that was SmackDown. As I said, some good bits. Shinsuke Nakamura coming out, massive pop, brilliant. I love Shinsuke. He's a fantastic. It's fantastic to hear what he does. I'm looking forward to seeing him winning belts and stuff, because he needs to win belts because he's just fantastic. So does AJ Styles. I want to see them have a feud before the end of the year. Maybe at SummerSlam or something. They'd put on a really, really good match. They'd probably steal the show because I mean, look at the match they had at Wrestle Kingdom 10. It was a 5-star Meltzer match, I think, off the top of my head. Stuff like that. Miz needs to get at least the IC belt back, but it needs to go through Corbin. Corbin does need to hold it for a few months though, so I'm thinking if Corbin doesn't win the main belt, he needs to win at least the IC belt at Backlash or something like that, because he'd look great with it, and he's got some great moves. I love how the End of Days looks. It looks brilliant. And Ambrose is just shit at the moment. Ambrose is just, he's boring. Like, if you look at the Shield, Reigns becoming a really good heel because people are just booing him because they hate him anyway. So him becoming a heel is just a sort of natural progression. But Mondays nights, this is my yard now, after fucking 15 minutes of boos or whatever it was great. Rollins, brilliant face now. Brilliant face. Ambrose is just a bit dead. and I think we need to get rid of him as soon as possible. I think that would be the best idea. Not get rid of him, but maybe change his gimmick a bit. It's called the Lunatic Fringe. Make him turn heel and make him go absolutely divvy. And like hit people with chairs just out of nowhere, randomly, just chair shot. Unprotected chair shots to the head. That's what we need back, but WWE will do it. Bray needs to get the title back because fuck Randy Orton. And Cena might come back at some point, but he won't fight The Miz. He might fight Nakamura, which would be... I'd enjoy that match as well, because over the past few years, Cena's got a shit ton better in the ring than he was. So yeah, that was as I said, good points, bad points. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at @Parmo_Lord. If you want to subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do, I don't really care. It's my SoundCloud, and my Twitter links in the description. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you later on.